So I'm Nioka Coe. I'm the current caretaker here at the Aboriginal 10 Embassy. And my position on The Voice is that I don't support voice to Parliament or the current referendums, constitutional changes in regards to us as the First Nations people in this country. In regards to that, I'd also like to say that we did have delegates that attended Yalara back in 2017, and they were threatened and turned away, and they weren't allowed to have a say about what their thoughts were with the Referendum Council in regards to the constitutional changes that were to be, or they're looking to implement. I'd just like to assert myself as a sovereign Wiradjuri Gomeroi woman. I do not recognise the illegal corporate Australian government or their constitution. No conversations have had amongst our people in discussions with us as the First Nations people of this country since the first ships landed here in this country back in 1788. Since then, there hasn't been anything realistic for our people in the way of recognising us as sovereign people of our countries. There has been no discussion. There's been crimes committed against our people, genocide, assimilation, past practices of stealing our children, which have gone to another level in this day and age. I mean, they're just taking the kids straight out of the hospitals now. How can we be a part of this constitution when their whole aim has to diminish us as a people in our own country? I don't see any changes that are going to happen with this voice. The people that are pushing this agenda are government, paid corporate crown servants. They don't represent the interests of First Nations people. They don't speak on behalf of them sovereign people. A lot of our grassroots mobs have been silenced in this conversation because we assert ourselves as First Nations people. There is lack of conversation about us as a people and our natural laws in this country. This is our country. We come here. We come from here. We don't have nowhere else to go. Our protocols and our laws still exist in this country. We're constantly asserting who we are on a daily basis, and this government isn't interested in having that conversation with our people. Realistically, I think it's time that our people start uniting and coming together to have this conversation about asserting our rights as sovereign people and formalising treaties amongst our nations and having that conversation amongst our people, because this government's interest isn't our people. The government's interest is to make sure that this crown holds its title to the monarchy. We're not British subjects. We've never been British subjects. Our people are not British subjects. We're the first people of this country. We're in 2023 now, and if history has taught us anything in this country, it's that our people have had to fight for anything that we've got in this country. I'm here at the Aboriginal 10 Embassy. This here is our last line of resistance. This here place is here to assert that right as the first people of this country, and us to sit at this government's table and not take into account our own laws and protocols. And one of them laws and protocols is that you cannot make decisions on behalf of other people. That's a breach of our cultural knowledge and laws. And this government does not have no regard for that. How can we sit down with the systematic racism and violence, and not to mention that there is a psychological warfare happening toward our people? And I find it kind of weird in a way how they've actually guilted a lot of people into saying yes, to say it's going to benefit our people. What are the benefits? Yeah? So That's my stand on the voice to Parliament and their constitutional changes. I think that decision and conversation has to happen amongst our people and stop having this government try to dictate their goodwill for our people. I think that we need to take responsibility for our own knowledge, our own law, our own customs and what we have, which is, very sacred as well as important to our people to exist in this country. A lot of the next generation are the people that we need to educate about our own history and decision making about where we want to go as a people in this country, and that decision should be made by us, not by the illegitimate colonial systems that still control and dictate their terms in this country while our people are suffering. We're the highest incarceration rates, mortality rates, yet we are the minority in this country. We only make up a certain percentage in this country. When are we going to discuss real change? Not a tokenistic gesture for government people that are employed by the government to sit in there and dictate their terms to our people. And a lot of our people are knowledge holders. They have status in their communities for reasons like that. They've been raised on their country. They've been raised by the old people. There's stories and conversations that we have to have amongst ourselves. How can we sit down and have this conversation with this government when our people need to have these discussions amongst ourselves? I think that change can only really come when it comes from our people. This government only doing things to benefit themselves in the long run. And if they want to realistically push for a yes campaign and make us a part of the constitution, let's do that on our terms. I mean, this is the thing, I don't feel nothing towards it. I've totally shut myself off emotionally from a campaign realistically that's not going to benefit our people. I'm here 24/7. I sit on this side here 24/7. I'm not going home. Everybody else will vote and they'll go home tomorrow, but we're still going to be here maintaining this resistance and asserting our rights as sovereign people. So either way, it doesn't matter what our people think or say. This is not our referendum. We do not get a say. We're a minority in our own country. The Australian people are going to make this decision, and a lot of them are guilted into agreeing to this yes campaign to say that it's going to benefit our people. In reality, where's the benefits? Realistically, I haven't seen any benefits. A group of people saying, oh, this is such a good thing, let's say yes to the voice. And a lot of our people, I find it pretty weird that we've had a few non-Aboriginal people come down here and want to support us here and say no, and they'll go over and say no. And then we have our people come in here and they just said, oh, we just voted yes because they think it's a good thing. And then they want to come sit at the fire down here and try and cleanse themselves of what just happened across the road. And I'm just sort of like, well, this is the reality of it.